William Edgar Hazlett was a big man in more than stature. He was a farmer, studmaster, owner, trainer, international sportsman and more. So it's not surprising Southland knew him as Big Bill. He more than lived up to that name on the track, breeding and racing champions over 4 decades, and was the first owner to race 1,000 winners. Jumps racing is where Big Bill was most influential during the middle decades of the 20th century, capturing the Grand National Steeplechase on 6 occasions.
Round the white pylons the last time, coming to the carriage paddock, and right out in front, Lachlan, he's 10 lengths in front at the last fence. Coming to it now, and he's kicked into his over. Not very well.
It was as an All Black that Hazlett first came to national attention in the 1920s. He was selected to tour Australia as a loose forward in 1926. 2 years later, he was described as the outstanding forward of a tough South African tour, scoring 3 tries and playing every test. Hazlett was at his rugby peak in 1930, when selected to play against the touring British Isles team. Racing had been in the Hazlett blood for several generations, while sheep and cattle farming was the mainstay of a vast farming operation which included high country stations. Chilandri Stud was set up at Taramoa near Invercargill after the First World War by Bill Sr. It was to become the South Island's most patronised breeding centre, and by mid-century, the base for Hazlett's most successful stallion, Kurdistan. From Chilandri emerged a string of champions such as Kumai, Coral, John O'Groats, Eiffel Tower and Loch Linney, and the Melbourne Cup winner, Baghdad Note.
Note on the outside has come to the front. It's Baghdad Note from Clear Prince and Bassett are flying. Baghdad Note in front near the line and he won it. Baghdad Note has won the cup.
The first Grand National Steeplechase success came during the Second World War with Astral Flame. In those days, Hazlett raced with his brother Jack, seen here in uniform with their father. They were the owners of the year in 1941-42, but sadly Jack was killed in action in Italy in 1944. The Hazlett approach to training was quite radical at the time. He wanted his horses to be tough, versatile, and capable of winning on the flat or over jumps. They were taught to jump at an early age and were entered for hurdles and steeples when still in their prime for flat racing. Hazlett had already made a big impression on New Zealand racing by the time he teamed up with Bill Hillis as his private trainer in the 1959-60 season. That partnership and a decision to move the training base to Riverton reaped enormous rewards over the following decade. Hazlett went on to be the dominant owner of the 1960s, taking out the title 5 years in a row. The stable star at that time was Eiffel Tower. He won 10 races over the flat, with the highlight being the 1965 Wellington Cup.
At the moment it's Eiffel Tower and Dandini together. Eiffel Tower doing better than Dandini. They race for the line and Eiffel Tower goes away to win it. Wellington, Dandini, Comet may have held the third. Followed by Patrol and then we've got...
2 years later, Eiffel Tower was to demonstrate the versatility and tenacity of Hazlett horses in the Great Northern Steeplechase. Eiffel Tower suddenly veered left at the water jump on the first time round. It unsettled Kumai, which stumbled and sent his rider sprawling. Eiffel Tower kept charging left, and jockey Bill Hillis found himself between the 2 fences in front of the grandstand that were meant to be jumped on the second time around. The rest of the field stayed on course, and it looked as though their race was over. Hillis eventually turned Eiffel Tower back onto the track many lengths behind. Yet the courage that took Eiffel Tower to a Wellington Cup helped him steadily rein in the field. By the time he crossed the line first, Eiffel Tower had already entered folklore as the hero of one of the most dramatic steeplechases ever seen at Ellerslie. Another great Hazlett champion of that era was Loch Linney. This is the 1974 Grand National Steeplechase. Loch Linney went to the top of the Hazlett rankings with more success in the Great Northern Steeples in the 2 following years.
W. Hazlett's the owner, coming down now. W. Hazlett's 5th success in the Grand National with Loch Linney well clear of the field, and the 6-year-old coming down to win the 1974 and 100th Grand National by about 12 lengths.
He added the Australian Grand National Steeplechase title to the collection in the same year. One event in particular shows the Hazlett dominance of jumps racing in New Zealand, the Great Western Steeplechase. This is Tadpole winning the race in 1964, the 8th time for Hazlett. Before he died, while enjoying his other great passion in life, dog trialling, Hazlett was to win the event a total of 16 times. Many honours were bestowed upon Hazlett for his valuable contribution to racing. He was president of the Southland Racing Owners and Trainers Association. and the Southland Thoroughbred Breeders Association. Yet for such an imposing man, Big Bill generally shunned the limelight. He was a man of the land, happier with farm life and breeding and racing thoroughbred champions.